Hey everybody, it is Scruffy here. I haven't made a video for a while. I've been going through some health issues. Uh, I'm going to be having to make a decision at some point pretty soon about a major operation. And I had a procedure done today. Simple procedure, but it still kind of made me feel yuck. But that's not what I want to talk about. A lot of you know that if you've watched some of my older videos, I did a video on conversion to Judaism, in which I did back in 2004. And I have learned a lot throughout all these years. I did my conversion properly through the right channels, through the synagogues and the rabbis. There's all this controversial stuff today with Candace and Tucker Carlson and so forth. And I've been watching some of the stuff that they have been saying, and I've been reading a lot of comments from people, namely Christians, who are jumping on the bandwagon. Hang on, my dog is wanting attention. Okay, I'm back. He wanted a treat because he ate all his dinner. He ate it all up. Anyways, so the controversy stuff with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and whoever else, it is really very, very concerning because people are getting the wrong information about Israel, about Jews, about Zionists, about Mossad. And they're using these words, Mossad and Zionist, as their code words instead of saying Jewish or whatever. So they can use these words without sounding biased or whatever. It's just really sad. It's really, really sad that we're seeing the division within the right-wing party, the Republican Party, conservatives, whatever you want to call us, MAGA, whatever. It's really very, very, very sad that this division is going on now. And I really do believe that it is on purpose to divide MAGA, to divide the Republican Party. And listen, Candace Owens used to be a Protestant Christian, as you probably already know. And she was all gung-ho, all pro-Israel back in the day. She even wore a Star of David necklace. And a lot of Christians, most Christians, were pro-Israel. And then she met a man. His last name is Farmer. He's from UK. He's Catholic. And things started to change with Candace. It just didn't happen overnight. They've been together for quite a while now. They've got, 4 kids? And slowly but surely, she converted to his religion. And this particular sect of the Catholic religion is anti-Israel. Okay, they're anti-Semitic and they're anti-Israel. I've seen the change in the way Candace speaks, how she looks. Her face is not kindly. She used to shine. She would shine in what she would say. She would shine in what she looked like, truly. But she doesn't shine anymore. If you've noticed her facial expressions and how determined she is to bash Israel and Netanyahu and everything, she's really changed, and not in a good way. And maybe someday, I hope that someday she will see, her eyes will open to what's going on. It wasn't, this stuff coming out of the blue. This has been working on her for quite a while. And it's just, her doing research and talking to people that are anti-Semitic, and, and then you become what you surround yourself with. And that's exactly what has happened to Candace. As far as Tucker Carlson goes, I think he's always been anti-Israel for quite a while. And what blew me away when I saw him do that interview with that nun in Israel, who is pro-Palestinian and anti-Israel, I was flabbergasted that Tucker Carlson would stoop so low to do an interview with that nun. And, the bias in that nun, I couldn't believe it. If you have not seen that interview, try to find it on YouTube and watch it. It's very appalling. Well, Tucker Carlson, he said back in, I can't remember what year. It was when Trump was running for the second time. He said he passionately hates Trump. Now, you could find that anywhere online. You can look that up. He said it, okay? He's never liked Trump. Tucker Carlson is a journalist who wants to have the audience, he'll say anything, to make the audience feel good. And he was very good at it. I believed him. I would watch him every now and then. I wasn't a huge fan, but I would watch him to see what he would have to say on Fox News. And then he was fired there and did his own thing. And for a while there, I'm like, yeah. But then all of a sudden he started changing. His true colors started coming out. And, this thing about if they're being paid by Qatar or not, I don't care. I don't care if that's true or not. The point is, these people are spewing out hatred and trying to divide the MAGA party, the MAGA movement. That's what they're doing. And they're saying awful things about Jewish people, about Israel, about Netanyahu, that are not true. So with that said, we need to bring ourselves together, because we're going to lose in 2026 if we don't cut this crap out. And that's exactly what it is, crap. Now, I've been hearing some Christians are pointing their fingers at Judaism, saying things that they don't know anything about. And they're telling other people these things that they have no idea, and they claim that they know better, but they don't. And I'm not going to name a name of this one particular YouTuber, ex-cop that's fairly popular with preppers. I even bought one of his books. But he's sitting there trying to tell you, everybody out there, that don't you know what Judaism is? Don't you know what Talmud is? Don't you know the difference between Torah and the Talmud? And he's going on and Kabbalah. No, he does not know. He does not know whatsoever. Now I'm just going to give you a quick little lesson here, a little lesson. And that is, the Torah is the 5 books of the Bible, starting with Genesis, the 5 books of Moses, okay? That is the Torah. And that includes the instructions for the Israelites. And today it's the Jews, okay? Back in the day, there was, all the tribes were together, but they're not together. They're, 10 of them are not known where they are. So it is for the Jews. They are to be a light unto the nation. Okay? That doesn't mean that they're anybody better than anybody else. It just means that they have a task. Everybody has a mission. Everybody has a task on this planet. And the Jews have a task to protect the Torah and to be a light unto the nation, to tell the world, all the nations, that there is one God. To help us understand the spirituality part of living and the, rights and wrongs. And through that, and you could find it in the Bible, yes, there are the 7 laws of Noah. And some of those laws of Noah are mentioned even in the Christian Bible, in what they call the New Testament. And it was Apostle Paul and the other apostles that were discussing what Gentiles should be observing, and they talked about the 7 laws. It's in there. If you haven't read it, you'll find it. Anywho, the Talmud is not the same as the Torah. The Talmud is a collection of rabbinical instructions that will help Jews understand the laws and instructions of the Torah better. For instance, on the Sabbath, how do you observe the Sabbath completely, perfectly? And the Talmud, with the discussion of rabbis back in the day and throughout time, have discussed what is good and proper to do on the Sabbath and what is not, what is forbidden. Because sometimes the Bible has not been clear, the Torah has not been precise in that little area, like cars. What about cars? They didn't have cars back then, so what about cars? Can you drive a car on the Sabbath, Shabbat? And of course, the rabbis concluded no, because it's electric, which is fire. And you're not supposed to light a fire during Shabbat. Now these laws, these instructions were not meant for Gentiles as far as Shabbat goes. Okay, some of these instructions are meant just for Jews, not Gentiles, like Shabbat. Okay, so we're past that, and I want to get to Kabbalah. Kabbalah is nothing more, what is practiced today is nothing more than digging deep into the Torah to see how certain things are meant. You could take it to a face value, like the story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were created by God, man and woman, and so forth. You know the story. Well, there's different levels of wisdom and knowledge within each book in the Torah. And it gets deeper and deeper of what those meanings are. Like, for instance, Adam and Eve were actually the skin on them. They were spirit first, and you just get into this, deeper, because people have questions. They want to know. They question this and they question that, and what about this and what about that, and they go into a deeper realization. That is what Kabbalah is. It's esoteric. It's not voodoo. It's not magical spells. It's not making, these humanoid monsters out of dirt and say, that is ancient stuff or semi-ancient stuff that some rabbis did practice. And you might even say, if you really want to, know, Jesus did a lot of mystical stuff. Come on. Grabbing some dirt and spitting in it and putting the blind man's eyes so he could see. Hello. Would that be considered Kabbalistic back in the day? Mysticism? So, people have the wrong idea about that. Kabbalah and Talmud. Talmud is a collection of discussions on how to observe the Torah, the instructions better. It puts a fence around. It helps to put a fence around some of the things so Jews can observe without breaking the instructions. You see what I'm saying? As far as Israel goes, Israel has been our ally for decades and decades. They are a very, very small country. They don't have the population or a lot of the resources that America has had. They have always been there. We know that from archaeology. And not all Jews left Israel. They still had Jews around Israel. Albeit it was a small population of Jews, but a lot of Jews did still remain in Israel throughout the centuries. And then in 1948, voila, UN, United Nations, voted and declared that Israel be a state, and they have been, and recognized as a state. And they took that land, that desert, that grew nothing, And they made it into a very productive land with fruits and vegetables and all kinds of produce and ideas and inventions, and very innovative. What is a Zionist? What is a Israelite or Israeli Zionist, Jewish Zionist? Jesus was a Zionist. Do you understand what that means? Jesus was a Zionist. He was pro-Israel. Peter, little Peter, who was one of his apostles, followers, right-hand man, carried a sword. These guys were not just this, little gang of meek men wandering around blessing little children. These guys were also Zionists in the sense that they were ready to fight if necessary. And I'm not saying Jesus was going to fight, but Peter was. He was ready. He was going to take on any kind of Roman soldier. Okay? And Jesus was a Zionist, if you didn't know that. A Zionist are Jewish folks that love their country, Israel. And they will fight, if need be, for their country, as it should be. Israel has the right to exist. Now, I'm very disappointed in my Christian friends out there in the world who are believing these lies about Israel and about Jews. It's the same old anti-Semitic stuff that they're speaking. And that is that Jews own the world. Netanyahu tells Trump what to do. I mean, all these things are ridiculous. Jews are rich, and they control the world, and all these things that people are saying today have already been said over and over and over again throughout the hundreds of years. Blood libel. All these things that people are saying today is nothing new. And it is despicable, it is disgusting, it's vile. And I dare Candace Owens to take her little tush and go on over to Israel. Just go over there. Go to the synagogues, talk to the people, go to the markets, talk to Netanyahu, talk to, some of the leaders. And what are you going to find, Candace? Her speaking against Israel is nothing new, and it has been said that this is what's going to happen in the end of days. All the nations will come against Israel. And we are now seeing this happen in America. Our wonderful country that has welcomed so many people and been a place, a haven for Jews to study and to worship freely. This is how we're talking against them now. Is this it? Those who bless Israel, oh, you know what it says. So this is something that was on my mind because, and I don't know how many people are going to listen to this, probably 1 or 2 or 3. But the facts are the facts. And let's get the facts out and get this straightened out, because we're going to lose our country if we keep on dividing ourselves. We're going to lose it. And that's what they're hoping. That is what the enemy hopes. The enemy hopes that America will go down. And the way that they're doing it, part of it, is to divide all of us. Divide us politically, divide us religiously. So, I hope that's food for thought for you. And if you don't believe me, go online, do your homework. And this whole thing about, the Jews are no longer, God's chosen people. That's ridiculous. That is also a lie. All people are God's people. We're all God's people. We're all chosen for different parts that we need to play. We have missions, if you want to call it that. We have different things that we need to do. Doctors, lawyers, we have all different things that we do. And the Jews were appointed, like I said, to be the light unto the nations. That is why God chose them, because He entrusted them to protect the Torah, to teach the nations of one God, and also the 7 laws of Noah, which go all the way back to Noah. And also, you have to think, this is a little esoteric. How did Cain know he did wrong when he killed his brother? How did he know? Because he hid from God, didn't he? How did he know? That's another thing to think about. Anyways, I had to get that out there. And sorry if this is lengthy. But, open up and if you want, buy yourself a Jewish Bible, a Tanakh, with the Hebrew on the one side, English or whatever on the other side, and commentaries, and compare it to your Bible. Start studying instead of blaming. You might find some gems in there, in the Jewish Bible. You might find some gems. Do your homework instead of blaming and pointing fingers. And Candace Owens, you're really walking on a tight rope. That's enough said.